Today's recipe for our latest series, Comfort Christmas. Today, I'm going to show you how to make the most delicious sausage recipe. Now it is made with venison sausages, beautiful, gamey, rich, autumnal, comforting. It's going to be delicious. Let's make this recipe. So get my pan on, get it nice and hot. Now let's talk sausages. So these are venison sausages. They've also got a ratio of pork and venison because venison's a really lean meat and it will dry out very easily. So what the great butchers do is a little bit of a blend so that you get some fat from the pork, but you get loads of flavour from venison, which is a super good meat. It is really, really lean, it's delicious, full of flavour. This has actually got some red wine in it as well and a little juniper. And because of that, we're going to marry that up with the same flavours. So I've got juniper, the ingredient of one of your favourite drinks, Emily?
Yep.
Gin and tonic. And then we've got some red wine. Now my friends at Beefsteak Club, who we've worked with before, and they do make a damn good Malbec red wine. Pound for pound, a delicious red wine. If you like your wines, like them red, in fact they do white and rosé as well, we'll get onto that another episode. But if you like, this for me is a proper eating wine.
Yeah.
Glass of this with food, it's good. Get yourselves down to the supermarket and buy it. Now also in the book that we always produce, an ebook in line with the series, if you just type free book in the comments below, follow the instructions on Facebook Messenger, and it will automatically deliver you a beautiful ebook that Emily's worked really hard on. And there's a list of stockists in the book for this. All right? So, little splash of oil in my nice new pan. Do you like my new pan, Emily?
I do like your new pan.
It's nice, isn't it? I bought that on my travels the other week. I treated myself. Right, so our sausages, let's see if there are any. Okay. Now remember, if you've got any questions at all, please do pop them in the comments below. I am here to help. Now, we're going to get some colour on these sausages first. So give them a little shake around. Get some colour on, and then we're going to transfer them back into this dish and then whack them in the oven. What I don't want to do is sort of cook them too quickly on the outsides, and I've got all these beautiful root veggies that need time to cook. A lot more time than these need, okay? Which is why we need to get a little bit of colour on them first and then get them out of the way. Now, if you can't get venison sausages or you don't fancy eating venison, that's your call, it's up to you. Use a really good quality pork sausage or beef sausage if that's what you're into, but buy the best quality you can because you will reap the rewards later down the line. This is kind of inspired by coq au vin, which is the traditional French dish where you would use chicken in red wine. It's basic translation, chicken in wine.
What does venison sausages taste like? Have they got a peculiar flavour?
No, not really. Venison's sort of a bit beefy. It's got a sort of slightly gamey flavour, but not a strong game flavour.
Right.
It's not. Have you not had them before?
No.
Really?
I've tried it. I've never had venison before.
Venison's delicious, especially in this country. We tend to farm venison, so it's a bit like lamb in that it's quite young, it's tender, it's delicious. It's not. If you buy wild venison, it may well be an older, stronger, gamier flavour. But if you find a good farmed venison where it's just run through the fields, it's lived outside, all the good things, it's lived a good life, it will taste mild. It won't be a really, really strong game flavour. But I get some people don't necessarily want to eat venison, and I get that. So that's why I would, go for a pork sausage, go for a chicken sausage if that's what you're into. or go for a beef sausage. But buy the best you can. Go to your butcher if you can. They'll make a better one than the supermarkets, in my opinion. Right, they've got a bit of colour on them. Let's get those back in the dish. Leave that on there, and let's get these in the oven. Let them cook away, 170 degrees, about 20 minutes, then they're done. Okay, right. So we've got our onions. Now these are Roscoff onions, so these are a bit like shallots basically. So I'm just going to cut them in half and put them straight in the pan that way. They're really sweet and mild, these. So if you've just got normal onions, just cut them into chunks, that's absolutely fine. Don't worry about it, or just use shallots. You can in fact buy frozen silver skin onions, which are the little, you know, the little pickled onions you get?
Yeah.
They're like that. Put them in if you want. Okay. Let's get a little bit, turn that pan down. What I'm trying to do is get layers of flavour. And the first layer of flavour is these onions cooking, caramelising, giving you that lovely deep flavour. Right, celery. Celery gives you a savouriness, okay? So cut them in half and then cut them into matchsticks.
What can you use if you don't want to use celery?
Just leave it out if you want. A bit more onion, maybe a bit of fennel. That would work quite nicely. Are you not a celery fan?
No, I like celery, but I know a few people that...
You like to think of the viewer who doesn't, don't you?
Yeah, I do, yeah. I like celery. I can eat celery raw.
I think it's very much a secondary flavour. It's not primary,
Yeah.
which is why I cut it quite small. My mother always used to leave it in chunks in our food, and me and my brother just used to fish it out, along with her mushrooms. And now we eat both, because we cook them properly. So nice and fine. We just want... It's about building a foundation of flavour, this dish. So in with our celery, okay? And then I've got some carrot. No Pip, she's on the sofa with Emma at the minute. So cut your carrots into quarters, I would say. Long ways. So all this can be done in advance. It's dead easy. Okay. You just want everything sort of to cook nice and evenly, because what you don't want is great big chunks of carrot that aren't cooked, okay? So sort of 1 centimetre pieces. Hopefully the French aren't watching, because I'm not sure they're going to like what I've done to their coq au vin. But I was inspired by your lovely recipe of coq au vin, and now I've just applied it. So, carrots in. What you'll notice as well is, have a look into this pan here, Emily.
Yeah.
I haven't moved those onions at all. All the ingredients are going round the onions, yeah? Because I want them to have stuck to the pan, caramelising, the water evaporating to leave sweetness and caramelisation and richness. If you start moving them all around, they're just going to mix in with everything else. The onions are going to be absolutely beautiful when they're done. So, parsnip for a bit of sweetness. So, let me show you how to prep these. Can you see this all right, Emily?
Can.
See, I've got a core down there. That never renders. It never softens. So just cut on a 45-degree angle down like so, around the core. Then turn it flat. Can you see that bit there?
Yeah.
And then cut that bit down there. We'll get rid of that bit.
Well,
So now we just have sweet, lovely, delicious parsnip.
I never thought you had to do that.
And then cut into the same size as the carrots. Parsnips will cook slightly quicker, I think, than carrots. But they will just, when I get this in, it'll just drink the flavour up. It'll be lovely. See, this wine's almost converted you to red wine, hasn't it?
Yeah.
For a white wine drinker. But you do like the white as well, don't you? They do a lovely Sauvignon Blanc.
The white's delicious.
And then they do a really nice Malbec Rosé And then I believe they've got some more wines coming out soon, which I am hoping to be able to share with you. I'm just waiting for my delivery, and then we shall get tasting and cooking with them, I'm sure. So, in we go. Right. Now, I've got some fresh bay leaf. So I've got 4 bay leaves in there. If you've got dried, use 2, because they'll be much more intense. And then I've got some rosemary and some thyme. Just going to run my knife through and then just pop that in. I don't mind it being a little bit roughly chopped. If you want it all really finely chopped, then fill your boots. That's absolutely fine. Now, garlic, all peeled. I'm just going to crush it, but not chop it. I want it to just sit in this recipe and just kind of let out all its flavour. What I also want this garlic to do is absorb all the flavours so that actually each and every ingredient stands out in this dish. It's not just about the sausages or the onions, it's about everything together. So just crush them and throw them in, all right? And then I have got an apple. I've got a Bramley apple here. Now, where's my super duper peeler that I love so much? We're going to play the game today, Emily?
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that.
Can't not play the game, can we? Can we get it in one hit? Here we go. Oh, feeling the pressure already. We usually do about 3 and I get my hat trick, but...
Yeah, I've only got 1 chance at this today.
I know, 1 hit, no re-edits. I've only got 1 apple as well, so it's not like I can pretend.
No.
It's going to be. I'm going to get it. So if you haven't got a Bramley, you want a sour apple, a sharp, sort of Granny Smith type apple. Look at that. Boom. You don't want a sweet sort of apple. You want something with a little bit of acidity. Okay? So we'll remove the core.
What I love about autumn and winter is a Bramley apple.
Eh?
What I love about autumn and winter is using Bramley apples.
Yeah, definitely.
And always sneaking a piece raw when I'm cooking.
Yeah, Thomas brought... he made a crumble yesterday at school, and we all had it last night. It was lovely. It was really good, yeah. Did a good job. Fair bit of pressure on him to be good at cooking, isn't there, and baking at school. But, yeah, I don't think he's that bothered, to be honest. So, again, don't cut them up too big. You know, the good thing about the Bramley apple is it'll hold its shape. It won't dissolve to nothing. But it will absorb flavour. It'll add a bit of acidity and a bit of balance to this dish. Because there's lots of sweetness in here with the onions, the carrots, the parsnips. We're going to get a bit of sharpness with the apple. Apple and venison work really well together, as does, you know, apple and pork and things like that. So it's all going to work really, really nicely. So, again, in we go. Again, still haven't moved those onions. Okay? Just letting everything do its thing. Let's have a little white round. Hello, Pip. Okay, so juniper berries. So this is where it's going to get our lovely sort of depth of flavour. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 juniper berries.
Are they quite strong?
Let me try one. Well, don't eat it. If I crush it and then just take that from my knife and put it and rub it between your fingers and smell it.
Oh, yeah.
Gin, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So all I'm going to do is crush them. Okay, if you can't get juniper berries and you still want to make this, add a little bit of gin if you want to. Oh. But juniper berries are delicious. I do the most amazing beef stafado, which is like a slow-cooked Greek dish. And it's got onions, beef, garlic, juniper, cinnamon, red wine, and tinned tomatoes. And just put it all in the slow cooker and let it go. It's amazing. Really, really nice. Okay, so let's get, again, I still haven't stirred anything, all right? I'm going to give it a little shake, level it all out, and we'll have a little look at these onions and see what they've done. So they should have caught the bottom of the pan and started to colour. There you go. Can you see those?
Yeah.
Yeah? That's big flavour. That is where all the flavour, look at that one.
That's nice.
That is going to give you rich depth of flavour and colour, okay? Which is what you want from something like this. I mean, don't get me wrong, you could chuck the whole thing into a pan and just leave it and it'll be fine and it'll still be delicious. But if you want to learn how to make things and take them from that level to the next, you need to do things like this, okay? There we go. Right. Time to get some wine in here, I think. So, beefsteak Club Malbec. In it goes. About 200 mils, 300 mils, what's that? Yeah, about 300 mils. Keep the rest for the chef, or serve it. What I would always do, my recommendation when people ask me what wines to cook with and drink with, if you wouldn't drink it, don't cook with it. Okay? So, we're going to add our beef stock cube. So I've gone for a sort of gelatinous, what I would call a wet stock cube, not an OXO sort of dried square cube. We save them for our burgers, don't we, Emily?
Yeah.
2 of those, and then we can top it up with water. And what I would do is just bring it to the top where the vegetables are. So there is enough for me. Up to the boil. And then we're going to have a look at our sausages. And if our sausages have got some nice colour on them, in they go, and the whole thing into the oven. Now, if you want any of our recipes, type free book in the comments below and it will launch into Facebook Messenger. And follow the instructions and it will deliver automatically a beautiful PDF of all our recipes from this Comfort to Christmas series. Also give you a listing of our wines and where you can get them from in the UK. Beyond the UK, I would just go to their website, Google it, have a look. You're bound to be able to find it somewhere. It's a great wine. Now also, if you enjoy any of our programs and you want to dive back into the archive, try and find a recipe you might have seen before, the easiest way to do it is go to our YouTube channel, Peter Sidwell. You'll find us there, and I think there are 450 videos of recipes even before Peter Sidwell's Kitchen, because we created this show in lockdown, and then we carried on with it because the audience has grown to over 102,000 followers at the moment, which is amazing. So a big thank you to all of you who follow us and watch every week. But please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. It really helps. And we've started putting on little shorts on there, little snippets, little clips, as well as full episodes. Okay, so my venison sausages are looking cooked. So if you have a look at those, the other reason why I haven't put them in the casserole yet is because if you look at the natural fats that have come out, I don't want those in the dish. It's going to make it a bit greasy. So all I'm doing is just putting a little hole in the sausages, just let some of those fats out because I haven't pricked these sausages, okay? So we're going to let some of that flavour out, but more importantly, it's going to let the flavour in, which is what we want. So let's just get some tongs. Move my mate Mel back over. And then we'll just drop them in and just push them in a little bit. Because you want them to sit in the wine, but you also want them to carry on browning, yeah? Let's just get rid of that spoon. So in they go.
That smells so good.
I mean, isn't that the epitome of comfort food?
Yeah.
This is like modern British cooking as well as inspired by lovely French food as well. I mean, this is like taking a French classic and making it British, in my opinion. But everyone can cook this. It's so easy. I mean, you could even pop this in your slow cooker if you wanted to. No problem at all. Now, I've got a metal handle on this pan, which means I can pop this into the oven for about half an hour, just to make sure everything's cooked. The onions want to be soft, carrot's soft. The sausages want to have darkened a little bit and absorbed some of that lovely wine flavour. And then you just want the sauce to have naturally thickened. And the way that it will do that is through evaporation. So this steam that's coming up out of here, that's the moisture coming out, which means there'll be less liquid, which means it'll be thicker, richer, and more delicious. So I'm going to pop this in the oven. While this cooks, I want to share with you one of my favourite Italian recipes that is vegetarian. I have cooked this for so many meat eaters, and they've absolutely loved it. It's melanzana. Melanzana is one of my absolute favourite vegetarian dishes. Starts with aubergine. Cut the top off, slice into 1/2 centimetre slices, drizzle with extra virgin olive oil and season with salt and plenty of black pepper. Cook in a pan until soft and pliable or on a tray in the oven. Slice your mozzarella into 1/2 centimetre slices, then sit on top of the aubergine slices. Roll up with a piece of basil, then add your tinned tomatoes into the bottom of your oven tray and top with the aubergine rolls. Then add some more of your tinned tomatoes, add a few more basil leaves, and then scatter with parmesan and a few breadcrumbs. This will give you a nice crispy top, some nice texture. Drizzle with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil and bake. Then you have the ultimate Italian vegetarian comfort food. Whoa, look at that. So that is my venison sausages cooked in red wine with juniper, lots of autumnal root vegetables, some Roscoff onions, shallots, whichever you prefer. This is absolutely the perfect comfort food recipe. I've cooked with Beefsteak Club wine and now we're going to serve it up as well. Now, if you want the recipe, type free book in the comments below, follow the instructions in Facebook Messenger and you will get all our recipes. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode.